All right. Next speaker is Dr. Holger Busch. Hopefully I said that right. I would like to introduce him. He's the former German Transport and Energy Policy Advisor. Holger is a geophysicist with a strong background in energy and transportation. He recently served as a scientific advisor for energy and traffic, both in the, okay, you're gonna have to hang on, here we go, Schleswig-Holstein. I got that, yes, thank you. I practiced, Holger, just thought I'd let you know. State and federal parliament. I want to go back and say it again. No, I'm not. Okay. Past roles include technical advisor for a drilling company serving on and offshore platforms, evaluating seismic hazards for nuclear power stations with the German Federal Institute for Geosciences and Natural Resources, and working with renewable energy systems like hydrogen-powered rail cars. With expertise in both technical and political aspects, Holger has contributed to energy and transportation innovations since 1998, with his first publication about electrification of railways by using hydrogen-stored wind power. And by the way, the first Hydrail rail cars, we gotta come up with a better name. Okay, Hydrail rail cars, okay, got that, have already been in service in Germany for a few years. So with that, I'd like to invite Holger to come up. Awesome.
I hope I can be heard by everybody. It's loud enough over there. Just one thumb. Yeah, that's perfect. Thanks a lot. Yeah, well, that's me, Holger. And I just have to start a simulation here, just a moment, for my notes, so I know, because I'm not a native speaker, and hopefully you will understand me. Just a moment. No, it doesn't work. Okay, good. I do it later on. But also, since I retired from the Parliament stories, I'm now a Scientist for Future. So you certainly have heard of Friday for Future, and there's a background organization called Scientists for Future to give some impact to the young people, the scientific background. I did some publications on trains, as you can see on these German publications over there. I always combine the energy, the renewable energy, with the railway system. And the railway system with the energy. I'll come to this a little later. The most important message that I've got to get in here is the Okanagan Valley trains are feasible. And the second one is, life is simply better with it. And I want to put in some technical aspects, but let's get to go a bit faster through it. So it's technically feasible. There's a study showing this. You see the Okanagan Valley and 13th station and so on along Highway 97. But of course it costs money to invest. Well, but the thing is, if you invest money, you get a return. If you spend money, it's lost. So investment is far better than spending money in something where you don't get money in. So if you spend money for roads, you don't get an income as a taxpayer. The second thing is, well, it costs to operate. Of course it does. And most of it is jobs. Somebody has to drive this thing. And staff, of course, there should be somebody within the train helping older people, looking for young people, and so on and so on. So, yeah, it should be possible to operate at least every half an hour, even in the rural areas, every half an hour train. Below that, you don't get the critical mass. You must operate every half an hour. I show this later on this presentation here, how it works. In Kelowna, of course, where the ways are much shorter, you must go more frequent. You don't want to wait 25 minutes if you only travel 10 minutes, for sure. Okay, so we made a calculation, and the nice thing is, yes, it costs money, which is the red bar on here, you see, this is the amount of money within 30 years that it costs, and that's what you gain. So it pays off quite well. More details you can see in the papers. You get the presentation, and you get certainly also the paper where you can read all the technical blah 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 details. See, because the most important thing is not the technology. The most important thing is the humans. I mean, there's no, you can build this thing, of course, but if nobody is sitting in there, it doesn't make sense. So at first, you must get the people wanting it. Wanting a transit system. And I don't know if you know this Saint-Exupéry saying that you have to make people jealous to go overseas. By the way, the picture is from my office. Very nice, sitting in the parliament in Schleswig-Holstein. This is the view over it. If you do so, you have to take care that people not start running into the water and jump in and commit suicide by not being able to swim. So you have to also have a plan how to build a boat, but still it's most important that you want them being overseas. And the most thing on trains, on the public transport system, is all welcome. You don't have to be able to drive a car. You don't have to be able to do something. You just step in. And if I say all welcome, I really mean all. So if you have your baby with you, or the bicycle, or baby, or whatever, you have space in the train. And you can just leave it. Sit down, relax. Even you can play in trains with your children if you want to. I mean, how much time does a kid sit in a car just doing, well, what kids do tonight? Okay? But how much more creative is a child if you play with him? How much value is this to your population? There was a nice experiment in Germany. They made children drawing their way to school. And all the children that have been driven by car to school almost handed in a white paper. Because they haven't seen anything from outside. And you see all the pupils that were walking or cycling, they draw everything. Birds, flowers, even shit. Children, isn't it great? Isn't it? So, but that's life. That's all about life. That's what we have to talk about. So, and mobility means the ability to participate in society. So imagine if you are quite high qualified, so quite intelligent in your head, you can do mathematics, want to study in USC, you live somewhere beyond Vernon or beyond Penticton and so on, you want to go to USC. How do you do that? Yeah, well, mostly you have to use a car, but if you for any reason can't do that, you're going to have a problem. Either you stay at home and work underneath your ability to do qualified work, which is a loss for society. That's brain loss, let's say it this way. Or you move to Kelowna and step in, or cycle, my friends over there, and cycle to university, which is also quite okay, but then you have to talk about real estate problems. Is it affordable to stay in Kelowna? I've heard it's not that easy, yeah. And so what could be also happen? So this person could leave the region. What a pity! This person goes to Calgary. I mean, yeah. For example, what a loss for British Columbia if this intelligent person goes to Calgary. So if you ever discuss a transport system, you have, of course, to ask how much does it cost. But please ask also how much does it cost if you don't have it. That's much more the important question. By the way, it makes your life easier and more comfortable. No, see, easy, quite easy. This is the way to work and this is the way from work. By the way, I'm drinking neither tea nor coffee, as God already experienced. I'm just drinking hot chocolate. And even if you wait in a station, if you make it nice, with a nice station, oh yes, that could be nice. Originally, I wanted to take the 6:10 train, well, now the 6:20, 6:30, oh, 6:40, okay, that's fine. Imagine how much you can achieve if you're not driving 2 hours a day a car. What can you do in this time? Time loss is one of the most problems. Life can be much easier if you have a tram-train system. Actually, 2 weeks ago, I had 15 friends visiting me at weekend. So I have to go shopping. And what I did was taking the shopping cart. I hope it's this thing where you buy your stuff in. And I just asked, can I take it for a quarter of an hour home? And then I put everything there in the cashier and paid, and then just go to the tram train, 4 stations, get home. This is the fridge, that's the microwave, that's the cupboard, all in, back. I mean, what a hassle if you have to put this into bag, into the basket, and all the basket and the bags in the car. Then you have to drive on your own, can't text anything also. And then at home you have to grab the basket and the bags and bring it all up on hand instead of on wheels. Fortunately, I've got an elevator, 7th floor, and but I just put it into the microwave or in the fridge or in the whatever. So life can be much easier. How much time does parents save on loading stuff and kids? I mean, imagine if you go shopping with children. Usually, well, at least in Germany, I think it's also in here, there's a place for children to sit in here.
Yeah.
So imagine how easy life is if the child is sitting still in here and you just bring it at home. On that way, you don't have to load it into the car. Fix it, strap it in. So that's the point. This, unfortunately, is the presentation, which I'll show you later on, where you can see how it works, joining everything together. If you do so, this is the main line, which would be the train, and these would be the buses, and they all always meet in this point, which is a rural point. In Germany, this would be a city, a village of 3,000 people. By the way, if you do so, and you operate this properly, and you have planned it quite well, then this city would be some kind of a hub, a center. And all these buses come in together in here. And suddenly, you figure out that these cities over here, or villages, have also the chance to go on the train. But that's not the most important thing of it. The most important thing of it is that these people see this here as their center town. So suddenly, these 3,000 people living here, where you usually don't have a bar, or a gym, or whatever facility you're thinking of, but suddenly this is 10,000 people and they have it. So you don't have to go to the city if you want to do just some sport, or dart, or a Guinness, or whatever. So if you think about a transit system, think it as of a regional and community part of your life. I mean, joining these people together, this is just a new feeling. We are not only Bornhöved, which is a city here, or Vierhusen and Stolpen. We are here. This is our lake, for example. Find a place. And the nice thing on this is, every quarter of an hour, if you operate every half an hour train, these will appear every quarter of an hour, which is about 10, 15, maybe 20 kilometers. So find your places and we'll get these meeting points. Well, still we have to invest money, and it must come from where. And this is also a point where you can say economists, companies, business people, that are your folks. I mean, in Germany, and I've extra looked for this also in Canada, the fertility rate is at I think 1.3 children per woman. 1.3, that means your society gets older. Which is okay, but sooner or later there will be a lack of young people for the companies to join in. So the companies must have an idea how to get attractive to young people. And in Germany we have something so-called job ticket, and companies sometimes pay the ticket for the young people just to make them work with me. And as, of course, if you are sitting here in the center of town, or even in one of those villages over here, if you have this system here, you get attractive to young people. Otherwise, same story with the ladies from Werner, they move over to the city. So if somebody tells you, we all have cars here, we don't need a transit system. Well, it happened to me in one of these sessions in some villages, and suddenly a mother stand up and said, yes, the ones without cars don't live anymore here. And I miss my baby. Says it all, it's funny. Well, in Germany, we have also in northern Germany especially, companies already bought their own station just to save on parking lots. Yeah, so the commuter doesn't have to come by car, because a parking lot that you have to place for your employees doesn't help you. For the customers, different story. But even the customers, of course, use the station also. So that saves money for the companies, and of course, take this money in. So, at least at the end, don't let over PR, so these Okanagan Valley Electric Rail, become a pure traffic project. It's not, we are not talking about traffic. It's a question of life quality. It's social participation, and so on and so on. So the question is, how do we want to live? And let the new, sorry for the typo, the new mobility become the spirit of the Okanagan. That's the most important thing of it. I'm glad about your intention. Start the rail evolution, as I said. And if you want to have some fun, I translated it into 5 different languages. And viva la révolution! Viva!